Hey guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd and Arrowverse recap or weekly recap, where we are going to recap Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman. So this week was not as involved in terms of Legends, but it did point out something that I have realized is something Legends of Tomorrow as well as the Arrowverse they tend to do a lot. I feel like they do this more in Legends than they do in every other or any other Arrowverse show. And that is they make a redemption arc for like the worst of villains. And this week Bishop had a redemption arc on Legends of Tomorrow. Now they've also done this with Nora's father. They've done this with, because when Vandal Savage literally killed Sarah's sister and he had a redemption arc. Like I kind of feel like this is what we need to know about the Arrowverse. Villains are not villains and heroes are not heroes. That's what I've learned. Again, Legends of Tomorrow is still one of the shows in, if you're going to call it the Arrowverse umbrella, that I still generally like because it's campy, it's silly, and it makes fun of itself. And it doesn't try too hard to be serious, even with serious moments. So this episode, basically, the women are signing up to help build planes for the war effort. And I literally loved everything about this episode. I love that they went to this time period where, of course, there's still prevalent racism. Come on, it's 2021. There's still prevalent racism, but like this is not only a racism, but it's also a sexism episode. And we had both Astra and Spooner being singled out as the coloreds and not being allowed to play with the other kids, basically. And Astra tried to play along, but she got in her feelings in this episode because they're trying to build a part. They need these parts, and Spooner's able to do them. They need 18 of them, and they need to be in a space where they have basically a area to work in, and where they can get the parts she needs to help build the time or fix the time machine. And so with Spooner and Astra being assigned to the, I think it's janitorial services is what they call it, the official name. But basically that they're janitors. They are smuggling parts out. Now, Astra gets in her feelings because she wants to get out as fast as possible because who wants to live during a time period where they're referred to as colored and it's completely segregated. And of course, Spooner's like, well, we need to be careful. We need to stay invisible. We don't need to mess up time. Well, Astra gets in her feelings, and she, Gideon ends up getting a job as the secretary, and she gets access to a work order because the women keep breaking the machines, apparently. And this a-hole that runs the factory, he has to put a stamp on it. So, of course, Astra's like, if we could get this, work order to basically be modified for a machine that would print out the part we need, we can get the hell out of here in under 48 hours. And so she goes in the office and she does some magic to switch the work order, and then she stamps it, but then he comes in. Now, we saw earlier in this episode where he refers to her as colored and basically treats her like a non-human. Her hand started glowing red. I was getting like Scarlet Witch vibes. I really was. And when he did it again in the office, she didn't even say a spell. She literally froze him. She doesn't know how she did it. She just knows it's almost like she's an emotion-based witch. That's what it seems like. So I'm really curious on what they're doing with Astra, because that right there, I was having Wanda, Mackinac vibes big time with her in this episode. So when she freezes her, she comes up with a plan to take over, the entire facility. And all the white, workers, the female workers quit because they didn't want to be on the floor with the colored women, which is so weird. You have all these women who are being oppressed, but yet racism is still prevalent, so they left. But in the episode, the women of color had already modified a broken bathroom area, out of order bathroom area, and made it into, I think it's an out of order bathroom or room, and they modified it into basically their own workshop. And so they taught themselves how to do everything the women were doing just as efficiently, and doing it behind closed doors. And so it's like it's almost like an underground mechanical situation or workshop situation. And so Astra utilizes that by having the women of color build the planes, which kind of works out, and we'll talk about that in a second. Simultaneously, the visitor, or the person who is the interloper who was on the toilet, was Bishop. And so he ends up crashing with basically the Legends. They find a room, they use their key, and they're back in John's place. And what I thought was so interesting about this episode is, again, with the villains, this man has done some very nasty shit. Like, he's not nice. He's the reason they're stuck in time. He blew up their wave rider. They could have been in it. You know, he's in all of these things, but now he's like, for a moment, he's like, I want to be one of the, I want to be I want to have a friend. I want to be useful. I'm the good guy now because nasty, other Gideon, she's the bad guy. And I'm like, he's not really seeing himself. I mean, you were just as a-holy as she was. But the legends like take him in. Sarah's like, he's crap, but they take him in. And then Bayrod is trying to use Bishop as a teachable moment on Persian culture and how they will treat guests in your home, for Nate, because Nate has made the decision to go live in the totem with Zari 1.0. And he's going to commute to work. I love how he's like, I'm just going to commute every morning to work. And I'm like, on a time shift. That's awesome. But I just thought that was really interesting. But anyway, so Bishop was taking advantage of Bayrod's, good nature and welcoming nature. And, it led to a very cute moment between Bayrod and Astra where she's like, how do you treat people that just take advantage of you and treat you like shit? And she points to the guy she froze. And he's like, it allows him to stand up to Bishop. And then Bishop ends up sacrificing himself. Like, they're all like, basically, to summarize this episode, the guy unfroze. He was in his feelings about the colored people being out on the floor. He didn't even want women out there. Eleanor Roosevelt came in, one of her generals, and inspected the plane, and then basically desegregated all of the factories from that point on. And Nate makes a comment saying it's 2 years early. And then they get attacked because the timeline changed. That means that, basically Gideon was alerted. And so they get attacked. And Bishop ends up, getting on the plane they just fixed and using the gun to open fire on, some of the soldiers that were trying to take the legends. But he gets shot in the head. So he's dead. They kill him. But what's interesting is that it's actually Gideon's version of basically our time, group, because you have Sarah. They showed Spooner. I'm pretty sure I saw Astra and Nate, but I mean, it's pretty much all of them. We basically have a completely controllable by the book version of the legends, all manufactured by Gideon, that are hunting the real legends, which I actually am here for that. I think that's really cool. And clones of yourself, that's some Terminator crap right there. So I am completely okay with that. But yeah, this was a pretty good episode. I loved Astra and her interacting with the older woman in there that was kind of like, she's the one of saying, small changes are steady. And, basically we can use these changes and sustain them. And like what you're trying to do is make waves. We might lose our jobs. So she's coming from a point of a woman who lives in this time period and has not seen a future or a better world. And of course, Astra's coming from the, future world where she's like, well, we don't have to deal with this shit as much. I mean, yeah, we have to deal with it, but not like on this level. So blatantly in your face all the time, so I think that was really cool. I think it's cool, but yeah, Mercenary, I see that. You're absolutely right. Legends of Tomorrow has now turned to Terminator. So I am completely okay with this. There were funny moments too, like when Sarah and Ava, they were assigned to put like these like nuts and bolts together, washers and stuff together. And so like they're on an assembly line and Sarah's like, I'm going to take this part, can you handle it? And Ava's like, sure. And then somebody else goes on break, says, can you handle it? So she's like, well, crap, I can't do this. And so she pushes a button thinking she's slowing down the conveyor belt and it actually starts speeding up. And so she's like throwing stuff on the ground, throwing it down her shirt. And she puts some in her pocket. And of course, this guy's like, are you stealing? And so she shoves all the washers in her mouth. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. So that to me was funny. I love, again, I will always love Astra and Spooner's relationship. I think they're hilarious. Like, they're talking and Astra's like, I hate you. And Spooner's like, oh, I hate you too. I love their friendship. So I don't really ever have negative things to say about Legends of Tomorrow, honestly. It's just so interesting to me that they choose to make every villain almost have a redeemable moment at some point. In Legends and really throughout the Arrowverse, but definitely in Legends of Tomorrow. So I don't know, but I will say I am excited for next week or next episode. I think it's in January. I think this was probably the mid-season finale. Don't quote me on that because I saw it on my DVR and I didn't look to see what it said when it was going to air again. So I have to look that up, but I am completely cool with that. I love the interaction with Gary and Gideon, by the way. Very, very cute. They are very cute. The human computer and the wannabe human alien, I think, is an absolutely adorable mix. don't have a problem with that. So very, very cool. Yeah. I just loved the episode. It wasn't supposed to be mind, bending. It wasn't supposed to be all that, but we did get a lot of it out of it. And again, we did get the nice little Terminator twist, at the end. And if I could say anything else that I thought was amusing is the fact that Nate already has an uncle in the totem that doesn't like him. So he already has his work cut out for him. So I don't know. Do you think Android, Ava, and Sarah are together? I'm wondering because the Terminator Legends, which are badass, by the way, they were next to each other in the preview. I don't know. I mean, if she was trying to copy them almost exactly outside of her perceived version of them not really giving a crap about changing the future, then yeah, they probably are almost exactly alike, except that they're more. But I think all of them are more like how Ava is. And to an extreme. So we have a bunch of Avas with different faces, basically, with legend faces. I think that's what's going on. So I think it's cool. It's the mid-season finale. There's a Bebo Christmas special coming out. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Astra and Zari and Spooner are walking around so freely and not being cognizant of the time frame and the danger there. And it's crazy to me. I wish they really demonstrated the real world scenarios. Well, with Legends, you're never going to have that. I mean, I'm happy they're including racism because there were times when I didn't feel like they were going to have that. So, because I mean, let's go back to the episode where, they were dealing with the mafia and they were dealing with the guy in his club. And, Zari 2.0 is in the hat shop and he's being racist to her because she's Persian. But yet you have a black man walking with a white woman happily chatting away right outside the window. And I'm like, that would have gotten him lynched. I'm like, that's not accurate. Not during those time periods. So. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So it's a thing. It always comes back to Bebo. I mean, he's a new Teddy Ruxpin. It makes sense. Ava is such a good leader. I wish she still had an organization to direct. Yeah, I love when Nate was like, in 2 years before it actually happened. And Ava's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's Ava. that is Ava. I thought it was interesting too that some of the stuff that the choices they're making, you can tell that Ava is mellowing out. I mean, she's not completely. She's still like, okay, this is messed up. But I mean, let's talk about the fact that Ava is I think being married to Sarah is making her be a little less neurotic. Because the one thing that you can say about Ava is she is neurotic as hell. But I love her. You need to have her. Because if you didn't have Ava, the rest of the team would just go completely crazy and do things and be willy-nilly and mess everything up in time. The timeline would be so messed up. There would be dinosaurs walking down the street in 2021. Or we wouldn't be here. The dinosaurs would have never gotten extinct. I don't know. They would have done something that messed time up to a level that's just, catastrophic. So we need Ava. But I love that she is a little bit coming out of her shell. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, like I said, Legends, great episode. Great episode. And yes, you're right. She's a super type A on a team of Bs. 1 trillion%. All right. I'm going to do it, guys. We're going to talk about Batwoman mid-season finale. All right. So last week, we know that Mary and Alice went on a run. They're on the run because Mary is whole ass Poison Ivy. She dropped a mic on Luke and Ryan and let them know of her not appreciating their lack of respect, lack of being friends, and pretty much their overall BS treatment of her, which there was not anything she said that was not true. So I was like completely on point with that. I was like, that's fine. This week, they're still on the run. Mary, basically, because, she's triggered by the sun. When it comes to night, she's back to being Mary. The only thing is she's still actually slowly changing into Poison's Ivy. Now, they end up going to this bar in the middle of nowhere. Alice took some of her blood and marked different cars so they can just track her nanobites to find her. They were tracking them to a slew of different locations, which is very smart. Alice is very smart. And then, of course, her and Mary go to this bar and they're talking. And she basically, Mary pretty much figures out very quickly that she has mind control ability. So she's force pushing people to do what she wants. And so Alice makes the argument that, she'll stay with her, she just wants to be free, blah, 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 but she needs to get the nanobites out of her blood. So Mary gets all the equipment she needs from a clinic or a hospital. They go to the bar and they start basically, she needs O negative blood, which is very rare. You're a universal donor, but you can only get O negative yourself. And so she's basically talking to everybody, trying to get O negative blood, like getting people to tell her what blood type she is by mind control, which is pretty badass. So she's progressing in her powers very quickly. And I actually loved all the scenes with her and Alice. They are very enjoyable, to be honest with you. I had no problem with that. Sophie woke up butt naked in Renee's bed. And Renee left her a letter telling her, that was great. Well, not sure what's in the fridge, but help yourself. I'm like, that, my friend, is a booty call. That's what that is. That was a booty call. And Sophie's like, she looks at her phone and she sees that people have been calling her and blah, blah, blah. What's interesting to me is that she goes back. First of all, Ryan, let me get back to Sophie in a minute. Ryan sets her brother up, Marcus, by pretending she wants to take on their mom, blah, blah, blah. It's all a setup for him to be taken to basically be put into cryo sleep so they can figure out how to fix him. And, he gets taken to the lab by Jada and his, Jada's people, and Jada's there saying, I'm going to fix you. And she's crying, and they're slowly freezing him, which you would think it would be a faster process, but they're slowly freezing him. Now I'm going to get back to Marcus in a minute, because I think this probably bothered me the most out of all of this episode, but I'll get back to that in a second. So back to Sophie. So Sophie gets back to the team, and then, they're in the freaking bat cave, and, they're talking, and she's like, Luca's like, oh yeah, Mary's gone. But he's giving her the lowdown about what happened with Mary. And then Ryan comes, and she's like, I tried to call you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, you're roommates with Alice, because Alice must be off the grid too. If you can't find her, she's probably with Mary. Did you see her? And Sophie's like, oh, I didn't actually go home last night. And then that should have been the end of that conversation. And I'm going to say this as a grown ass woman. I don't have to tell you who I'm sleeping with. I don't have to tell you where I go. I don't tell you anything. So I guess I was kind of annoyed that she even had to, divulge the information that she slept with Renee. And then I'm on top of that, I'm like, Sophie, why did you divulge the information that you slept with Renee? You could have said, I went home with someone last night. And that's the end of that. And when they say, who was that? I'm like, oh, her name is None Your Biz. That's what her name is. Why did you have to tell her? We know why, because we had to have Ryan get jealous. Because Ryan even brought up later on saying, oh, you went home, the woman that's blackmailing me, blah, blah, blah. That's not why. You don't give a damn about that. You're mad because she went home with somebody and it won you. That's what that was. That's how we have the drama, more drama with the Sophie Ryan situation, which is the hashtag Bat Chaser. Just saying, they are destroying Sophie's character. I feel so damn bad. I really do. All right. So let's get to the meat of this, okay? And I don't even know if this is legal. I have a marketing, my MBA is in marketing, my undergrad's in film. I don't know how legal this is. So Marcus ends up becoming the new CEO of Wayne Enterprises. So we'll get back to that too in a second. But we're going to start back where it really starts to go completely batshit crazy for me, okay? Now, let's talk about Marcus. So Marcus, we all know now he's a new damn Joker, because we have to have a Joker and we have to have a Poison Ivy for the new Ryan, who doesn't exist in real comic continuity. They had to have a reason to give her these characters, because in general, these characters don't give a shit about her. That's literally what it is. She was a zero concept. She has no actual backstory in the comics. She has nothing. Good and bad, she has nothing. So they have to create the same villains as other people. That is what is happening right now. So some people will call that creative genius. I call it sloppy and lazy. But you know what? It is what it is. So let me get to Marcus, okay? We saw a video of how cruel Marcus was. We saw a video of Marcus putting peanuts in his dad's sandwich because his dad is allergic to nuts, and laughing because they couldn't find an EpiPen, which for me tells me that he killed his dad. So you mean to tell me he had no problem, no conscience, pretending? He even says in this episode to Ryan, I'm tired of pretending to care. You're going to tell me as a viewer that all he was going to do was push his mom down She literally had you kidnapped, drugged, and was about to cryo freeze you. He was going to cryo freeze him for you, like however long it took to come up with a plan. That could be years. It could be literal years. And all you do is smack her aside and you don't kill her ass. That's my first question. Makes no sense. The second gripe I have is that Jada was doing a favor for Ryan by synthesizing a cure, which they were able to synthesize very quickly, which is interesting because why couldn't they do that with the original Poison Ivy? I mean, Batman has connections. I mean, I'm sure he knows all kinds of people at Star Labs and he has billions and trillions of dollars. Why couldn't they do that for Pamela? Just throwing that out there. But they synthesized this cure in under 24 hours. Not even 24. And Marcus got it. Went to Wayne Tower. Told Ryan. So I'm going to give you this. But in return, I want Wayne Enterprises. And so she steps down as acting CEO. Acting CEO. Which for me begs to question, do you have stock in Wayne Enterprises if you are the acting CEO? Because that's a temporary position. This is not a permanent position. You do not own Wayne Enterprises. Bruce Wayne owns, basically Wayne Enterprises. So how can somebody hostile take over the entire corporation? Now I'm saying from I had a marketing business degree. So I don't have an all broad and I have to research this. How can her stepping down without the shareholders, without the board having a meeting, without anything else, literally in under 24 hours, how in the hell can he just come in and become the new CEO and hold a press conference in the damn office? Somebody explain that to me, please. I'm confused. Now, I've seen other corporations gobble up corporations, but not like this level. And then I will also go on to say that if this does not bring Bruce or Kate back to this show, nothing will. That means Bruce still doesn't give a damn about his father's legacy. He didn't give a damn about the company. He didn't give a damn about anything. What they basically done, they've written a storyline that is so far-fetched for me as a comic book lover and as somebody who can set aside comic book love and just watch something for dramatic effect. It's too hard for me to suspend my disbelief that you are taking Wayne Enterprises, Thomas Wayne's legacy, Bruce's company that he took a sabbatical from, but did not sell, did not quit. He just left because apparently he killed Joker and couldn't handle it. And then Kate left temporarily, basically let Ryan have as acting CEO. It is that easy to come in here and basically take over this company. I am confused as hell. It actually irritates me. I'm gonna be real with you. That whole thing, it's almost like the people that really love, any of the Bat family, any of the Gotham lore, is like you literally just said, we don't give a shit about you. Nobody cares about this company. Nobody's gonna get it. No, it's just Thomas Wayne's legacy. It's stupid. It's just really effing stupid. So, but again, I know why they did it. They had to have a reason to defund. They had to defund the Bat team. Because without Wayne Industries, they don't have a budget. They can't keep the lights on. That means Luke doesn't have a job anymore because his access and credentials are gone. Sophie's fine because she didn't have a damn job to begin with. And of course, now Ryan's newfound status of CEO and having money and being able to get her hair done and, because she changed her hair up and buying nice clothes, that's gone. I don't know how, honestly, real talk. I don't know how Ryan is going to survive because Mary is her roommate and she's the one with the money. And Mary is Poison Ivy right now. So Mary's not going to be paying the rent. I don't know if Kate owned that penthouse, but I mean, she's got to pay for gas or the lights, electric in there. She's got to buy food. I do not understand how she's paying for this shit. But again, let me digress. If we go back to the Legends episode, they were making sandwiches and donuts and all kinds of stuff for all these women. I'm like, where the hell would they get the money for the food when they didn't have money to go ride a train, in the 20s? So, I mean, I digress. One could argue that, yes, they didn't have that time period's money. That's fine. But where are they getting money in general? Where is all this food coming from? Does the house just give them food? I mean, it's just stuff. It's little nitpicks. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see how they pull this off. because I feel like the money concept in the Arrowverse does not exist. You do not need a job, a bank account, credit card, anything. They talk about it for 5 seconds. They worry about money, but then it just goes away. It's not like us where we were like, how can we pay our rent? Damn. And then we're homeless. They're like, how can I pay my rent? Well, we'll think about that in 3 seasons. It's like, what the hell just happened? So just saying. This show has literally character assassinated so many things and characters. It drives me crazy. It really drives me crazy. But you know what? We still need to know who in the hell Sophie was having sex with, because that is a big part of this. Her getting her rocks off with, first of all, I think it's creepy, but with Renee, both of Kate's comic book exes, apparently was a big part of Alice getting away. Because had she not gone and done that, maybe she would have been there to stop Alice, which makes no sense because Alice left while she was at the Batcave under their noses because they don't pay attention to anything. And then how weird and yet kind of cathartic for me was it when Luke got his ass kicked by Marcus. Marcus beat shit out of him. I was like, wow. He tried, and people can say, "Oh, it's just because his arm was injured." No, he would have had his butt whooped, even if his arm wasn't. That's not a problem. He blocked. He's getting good at dodging, but yeah, Marcus beat the hell out of Luke, beat his ass, and knocked him out. And that was funny to me because right now I told you Luke's been getting on my nerves this whole season. He's just getting on my nerves. I still found it too interesting that he was like, you know what I did to Mary when she tried to tell me I wasn't ready to be in the suit? I pushed her away. No, you were a dick. There was a difference. There was being a dick and pushing her away. You didn't push her away. When you push somebody away, you ignore them. You didn't do that. You kind of gave her the cold shoulder, but you talked crap the entire time. So no, you were a dick. Just say what you know what I did? I was a dick. That's what, and not Grayson, an actual dick. Just throwing it out there. So the biggest thing for me that happened in this episode was we got the poison ivy reveal. And you know what? I actually like Mary better with the red hair. I know it's probably bad. She looks really good with the hair color. And again, we talked about her suit last week. So I am completely on board with this suit. I love how she looks. I'm curious to see, because it looks like she's going to be hooking up with Marcus, who is the new Joker. His hair is all purple too. It's fucking ridiculous. Why can't they be original villains? You know what I mean? I get she got bit, so she's now the new poison ivy. Whatever you need to do there. I do know they cast a woman who's supposed to be Pamela, so we're supposed to have 2 poison ivies, I guess, in this series. But Marcus being the Joker because he got zapped by a buzzer in his head from the joke or by the Joker, it's just so ridiculous to me because I don't feel like that's how psychosis works. That's not how being a sociopath works. It doesn't open up the paths. You don't become Mike Myers because you got zapped for 2 seconds. I feel like that should have been something he already was. He should have been his own villain. They could have made up a brand new sociopathic villain, gave him another name. I do not understand why the people of this show, if you're going to have a brand new original character, you don't have other things that are original around her. Her mother, Jada, technically is her Jacob. Her brother is her Alice. Everything about her life is Kate's. I don't understand why we couldn't have brand new villains. Heck, we could have had Mary become some, somebody who got mental abilities and became like a new doctor, or like the Doctor, not Doctor Who, but like a new doctor type character that you didn't want to meet because she was batshit crazy. And so, and she was able to influence you into doing whatever she wants. And she just had a penance for taking out your organs. We saw her do it when she was controlled by Mad Hatter. So why not something on that effect? I don't know. I'm telling you guys, every week it's hard. I don't have my tea either. I have my jug of water. That's all I got. I'm trying though. I am trying. I'm trying to find something good about. I think Mary is literally the only thing good to me about this series. I love Mary's character. I love that she seems to have common sense and nobody else does. I used to like Sophie. I don't like Sophie right now because they're character assassinating her. They took a very strong Black woman and they made her into a hoe. And then they created a brand new spot for another. It's like you're saying you can't have two independent, strong Black women without one of them having to be the side piece. And you took a woman who was already established on the show. She's already an established character, already a comic book character who is established in the comics. And you basically made her the Lynn from Black Lightning character. You took her and you had to make her less than, because we had to have Ryan be more than. And Ryan's not, because she's just Black Kate Kane. So I'm very tired. Like, it is exhausting being this annoyed at a TV series, because it's not real. It doesn't affect my life. But I mean, when we review it, I have to say it, man. I can't not say the truth. And the truth is, people that are following the show that are just happy, they're happy because we got POCs in roles that are prominent and lead roles. And that's great. That needs to happen more. We are all on the same page. But we don't have to accept garbage because we got that. You can't be like, I will give you this with a shit script. Yay! No, that's not what we do. We were like, what the hell is this? What is this? For me, this show is Armageddon. That's hashtag truth. It just is. All right, so let me look at some of your comments, because I'm just spinning wheels over here. Hi, Nicholas. How are you? Let's see here. Trying to scroll up because we got a lot going on. Hello, D. Marie. How are you? I see you, Jermaine. Are you saying Mercenary and Ray? Okay. I love this. Man, oh man, what a waste of a good character. Character assassination again. Yep. I mean, that seems to be what's happening. I am so tired. I'm so tired. So let's see. Let me move this over. I try to make these bigger so I can watch, because I'm old. I want to be able to read this without actually trying to make sure I'm not seeing in doubles here. Okay. Make sure I'm at the top. Okay. All right. I think this is the very first comment for, yeah. All right. I'm liking Mary's transition. I hope this is legit. It won't be. She can't be bad. Mary's the heart of the team. And now their heart is broken. So, and they're also broke because Ryan's a fucking idiot. Like, I'm just amazed at how unintelligent they make her sometimes. Like, him talking about, I want Wayne Enterprises. I'm like, really, dude? Really? Who would have thought we could see the origin of two villains this season? I can't wait until the transition is complete. Like I said, I don't think Mary is going to be permanent. I think we're going to get the real Poison Ivy very soon. But I will say the trailer where she teams up with the new Joker is interesting. Again, I don't know. I just feel like it's so stupid to make him the new Joker. I mean, even his little speech, he's implying, I just want everyone to smile. And that's such a Joker thing. Oh my gosh, it's just stupid. It's like if Joker became CEO of Wayne Enterprises. That's literally what it is. But yeah, it is what it is. Batwoman, Poison Ivy, Mary, and Alice are making this season very cool. They're the only thing that are making it cool are literally Mary and Alice. More Mary. But yeah. I don't think this episode didn't feel like a I didn't think this episode didn't feel like a mid-season finale. Honestly, I kind of, every time I watch Batwoman, I kind of wish all of them were every episode was a mid-season finale. I mean, to be real. I'm not looking forward to the crossover. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm probably gonna be very annoyed by how they write her in. And there's so many good ways they can do it, and I know they're gonna F that up too. I see Mini Joker in the future season. If you don't know who Mini Joker is, I think he appeared in Batman Beyond or Batman Beyond movie. Well, I mean, I hope that they're not trying to make her brother Mini Joker. That would be interesting. The writers are going to let Mary keep the powers, already calling it. We'll see. Because Gotham doesn't have heroes with powers for the most part. They have people that show up and help them and aid them, but mostly they are not. The heroes aren't the ones with the powers. It's normally the villains and them having to overcome You know, it's like another thing that bothers me is with Ryan going to find Mary to give her the cure, right? After last week, when Mary tried to kill you or basically restrain you and choke you out with plants, why did you feel like you had what it took to convince this girl to take that damn stuff, to take the cure from you? She basically told you what she thought of you. And yet for some reason, and this is something that I keep finding in the Arrowverse, non-power people always try to track down and talk down power people that are being under the influence of power or greed or corruption. And they act like it's going to do something. Like, I don't understand. What nobody told Ryan is just because she's a new Black Kate Kane and she's taking Kate Kane's life, she can't have Barry Allen's role. Barry Allen is the care bearer of the Arrowverse. Barry Allen needs to go to Mary and do his love talk. This is not what happens in Gotham. I don't understand why she thought that was her role, because Mary just straight up told you, you are not my friend, biatch. You have been nothing but problematic. I have been nice to you. I have supported you. I've done all this stuff. Ryan even said, hey, when I first got here, it was you that did it. Yeah, but you didn't think about this when you were ignoring my ass. Why did you think you were the one that's going to get her to take that cure? Questions. Sophie had a better shot. Just saying. Dark Mary and Alice, ironically, are great sisters. If that's what Alice wanted with Kate, she got with Mary. Dark sisters. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting because there's obviously a lot of issues because Alice killed her mom. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Sophie. Hashtag superho. I mean, it's what's happening. They are character assassinating her biggest crap. I don't think he's a psychopath like the Joker, but he is a real deal sociopath. I mean, I kind of feel like it had to have been there to begin with. You know, I really do. What if she finds out that it had nothing to do with Joker? You know, Joker just recognized that he was nuts. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't watched the streams. Have you enjoyed this season so far? Because it's past 3 episodes and you're still watching. Oh, madness. No. I can't do a fair Arrowverse review unless I watch the Arrowverse shows. That's why I'm watching. It has nothing to do with me liking the show. It's literally, I'm trying to do due diligence. And if I'm going to have an Arrowverse recap, I don't feel like I should eliminate Arrowverse shows, even if I'm not taking to them very well. What's the best West Coast Avengers comic to read that involves Kate Bishop? Oh, I have a list. My Comixology. Let me post some down. I love, I can't remember the issue. I love when she turns into a huge bird. That's probably one of my favorite issues. What was it? I'll get back to you on that. But that one was funny as hell. There are a ton of really cool West Coast Avengers issues. A lot of people make fun of it, but I think it's funny. Wait, reverse that. Man, what a waste of a good character. Character assassination again. Looking at, definitely read that one already. I don't like how loose they make Sophie. I mean, I'm telling you, and what's so messed up to me as a showrunner is LGBTQ plus. So coming from me, who is also LGBTQ plus, you have lived up to a stereotype. You basically made this character completely fucking stereotypical, and it's so messed up. It's messed up on so many levels. I mean, they have all of this representation potential in one show, and they F it up every time. And then it's not lost that the Asian girl, the one Asian they have in the whole damn series, is the one that keeps getting treated like shit. Just saying. They're across the board effing it up. Across the damn board. Hawkeye so far is badass on Disney Plus. Yeah, I mean, Kate Bishop is one of my favorites. Her and America Chavez I love very much. They're not my favorite characters, but their storylines are some of my favorites. I really do I am a fan of Kate Bishop. The biggest villains on this show are the writers and the plot conveniences. Oh, back to Kate Bishop, though. Kate Bishop essentially is Sophie, though, because she's a little loose in the comics, too. And you're absolutely right, though. Plot conveniences and the writing is the biggest villain. They're the biggest villains, the biggest deterrents to enjoying this universe. It's all stupid. It's all done. Sophie was a very good character and now being wasted. The writers need to wake up and give Sophie a credible place and hashtag Batwoman give her a storyline. They need new writing. They need a new showrunner. They need a lot of stuff. Honestly, they need to bring Kate Kane back because they already have a black Kate Kane. They need to give Ryan another. She can be literally, she doesn't have to be a sidekick. She can still be the lead of a show, just not Batwoman. She needs to become a brand new superhero, give her abilities, give her little, whatever drama of the week as the Jada turns and the Ryan days of Ryan's lives, and put her on a different superhero show and let her be it. I mean, if you want to bring Vixen in, make her Vixen. Give her the Vixen slot. Let her do it. Reinvent her. It wouldn't be the first damn time in Arrowverse that people look alike, So, I mean, how many people has Wells played in Flat? Come on. So, I feel like that's what they should do. Bring Wallace Day back as Kate. Get the show on track and just move the hell on. Because right now, they don't even know what the hell they're doing. They made a character and they have no idea what the hell to do with it. And they're sacrificing other characters to try and build up this character they don't know what the hell they're doing with. It's ridiculous. Alice feels so disjointed on the show. You question who is she? Why is she still there? And Sophie has no storyline that you can define. They don't know what to do with her. Yep, are either of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to let you know Charmed Season 4 premieres on March 11th. I know, and I would like to let you know that me and Eloy are trying to work out having our Charmed Season 4 theory video for Monday. So it's either going to be a video or a live stream. We haven't decided yet, so we'll see. So check on my community tab boards between tonight and tomorrow, because I should be setting up a stream for Monday. Unless something happens, should be on Monday. I don't think he can just elect to be CEO if the Waynes have controlling interest, because he just owns controlling interest in shares of the company. That's the thing. Like, how can you be made CEO without having, like, you have to have stocks. You have to own the majority stocks. You have to be voted in. How does this happen? How are you declared CEO? How can you declare yourself CEO over a company that's been going on for what, 40, 50 years? I don't get that. I'm sorry. Alice Phillips. Okay, I think we already read that one. I hope Bruce Wayne shows up season 4 because I see him showing up next season. They need to. He needs to come in and be like, okay, hold up. I'm like, because I mean, they have the Hush guy playing Bruce. He should come back and be like, I don't know what the hell you guys think you're doing with my company, but that's not gonna fly. And then he can walk down to the Batcave and be like, Ryan, be your own person. You're not my cousin. Get your own life. I mean, doesn't the Wayne money fund the Justice League? So wouldn't this affect countless heroes if they don't get this money right? It definitely helps. He is the Tony Stark of the DC universe in terms of financially footing the bill for a lot of stuff. So, yeah. But to be fair, though, the Justice League also has a military contract. So, I mean, it really depends on which universe we're talking about. Hello, Nicholas. Luke doesn't access to his suit. He can't. I mean, he got his arm broken and he learned in the last episode he's not ready. Jada Jet also started out a strong badass bitch. What the hell happened? Another character assassination? No, because she got an automatic redemption in 2 or 3 episodes. It's so stupid. She literally came out swinging and then was like, but if you help me with my son, I'll help you because you're my daughter and we're family. I'm like, I cannot. Mary is giving me life. The house, in theory, could have a magic fridge that refills itself. I can see Constantine having that in his house. I'm hoping that's what's going on. There's a lot of, even making those homemade donuts. How do you get the machines that are the deep fryer to do that? I mean, it's just the stuff like that I have questions about. Jada had the power to be a freaking badass. She could have been a very cool villain. I mean, to be fair, they could 180. They 180 Alice every other week. She's redeeming herself. Now she's being a bitch. She's a villain. She's not a villain. She's just misunderstood. She's a sociopath. I mean, it's literally, you never know what week Alice is. So it's a thing. Mary's giving me life. And is Alice still having the delusions? And is it coming from the nano stuff in her blood, the nanobites in her blood or whatever? Nanobots? Sophie had one job. One. Yep. She really did. Mary's giving me life too. That wasn't even a fight with Marcus. Sit down, Batwing. I mean, seriously, he beat the hell out of Luke. Luke was like, he tried though. I mean, Luke should have known what he was in for when Marcus' whole ass took a fountain pen and then killed the guard. Because see, all the guards and extra characters like secretaries and executive support staff, if you work these jobs, I have mad respect for you. But the CW just basically said, you guys are Star Trek red shirts. That's what you are. You are expendable. So it's a thing. Sophie had one job. Oh, well, time to go rogue. Luke is largely responsible for what has happened to Mary. Yep. How can he just turn his back on a friend in trouble? Because he's an a-hole. He got in his little feelings. He throws tantrums just like Ryan and everybody else. Luke is very unlikable to me. Very unlikable. I honestly don't think Luke is fit for the suit. I think he's just, he's going to pass it down to some other who actually fit for it. He should, but they won't. He'll be Batwing. I love this, Mary, but I wish they would have went with another character or original name for this. Thank you. I think that would have been very cool. I mean, I don't know why they didn't. I honestly don't. Luke wasn't just being a major dick, similar, if not like Dick Grayson is in both canon and several storylines. True that. Now we're officially going into Batwoman versus Alice 2.0. Yeah. If it isn't going his way or in his control, he loses his shit. Yep. They could have at least had Marcus get affected by the Joker gas and be a catalyst for why he went crazy. Yeah, and then eventually we'll get the Batman who laughed. That would have been very cool. And say, screw Batwoman, I want to watch this show. But no, we're not. We can't get anything that has actual plot or merit because honestly speaking, I kind of feel like it's very obvious these writers they're just like, they're writing it by the seat of their pants. There's no outline. There's no planning. And if they said there's planning, I do not understand that. And to be fair, I try to hold like an objective, open mind because the CW could also be vetoing stuff that pertaining to the show that might actually be very good. But Greg Berlanti is the number one person that I actually blame because they could have cast Wallace Day and fixed this shit a long time ago. And when I say that, I run the risk because I only have a part black card. I have a part Native American card. And then I'm, the other part is white. So I'm always accused of going towards the white side when I say that they should have kept the white lady as Batwoman. And that's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because Batwoman is established as Kate Kane, in the comics besides Kathy, her predecessor. So it's easy to merge all of these stories around Batwoman, even the ones that you have for Batman, just like you did with Arrow, because it's acceptable because she is a canon character in the Batman Gotham lore. Ryan isn't shit. So like when you bring this woman in and you have no plan on how to integrate her in all of this, like, basically all of the stories, all of the traumas, anything that made the Bat family, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous, especially when you don't have a good team that knows anything about comics or knows anything about the lore of Gotham. How can you pass that on without doing what they're doing, which is they're not making Ryan Wilder. They made a black cat, Kate Kane, and they named her Ryan Wilder. She's 100% Kate, 100%. And it's so fucking irritating. It is so irritating. And I love when people get in their feelings about me because every time I talk about Batwoman, I lose subs. You have no idea. Like I can go back in the analytics and I will see what videos I lose subs on. It's always these ones. And that's fine because I'm not here to kiss your ass and I'm not here to lie about a review. I'm not doing that for subs. And if you want that, go find another channel. But I just think it's interesting that when you call shit out like this, people get in their feelings. They want to make you racist or they want to make it about you. And I'm not saying that there aren't people out there that are. We know that there are YouTubers out there that are racist as shit. They were against Ryan before the first damn episode dropped with her in it. My problem is I gave this a chance. I'm a POC and I'm telling you it's garbage. So come at me. It is what it is. I'm sorry. I make no apologies for telling what I think. And that's what I think, guys. My opinion. You guys can like it. You don't have to like it. You can fucking love it. I don't care. But it's just, for me, I cannot lie about this shit. I can't. I just can't. And it's so, for me, it's disheartening because they could have done something. They really could have done something. But they should have just kept Kate Kane. That's how I feel. They should have just had it as Kate. So Greg Berlanti really should have been fired because he obviously doesn't know what he's doing. Because he's the one that talks Carolyn Dries into this. And, she doesn't make very good decisions in general on her own. So That's what I've learned. So yeah, it's a problem. It is a problem. Let's see here. Sorry, it moved up. So I want to make sure that I have enough. I'm going to go zigzag here. I really like Marcus as a threat. I really like to see this stay a shadow war between him and Batwoman. Like I said, they have a lot of potential for him as not being the Joker. I'm like, I don't want Marcus to be the Joker. And that's what they're doing. He's a Joker. And it's just, it's a mess. I like hearing your point of view. You're interesting and speak your truth, Hugo Maria. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, people always want you to be honest until you are. And then they don't want you to be honest anymore. And that, unfortunately, is the nature of the world we live in. The writers need to do better next time. Yes, they if the writers are the ones doing this and they are not being vetoed by the network, then they need new writers. That's just it. They're handing out character assassination plaques. They are absolutely doing that. I am super aggy over what has happened with Sophie, career, relationship choices. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to take a dump on this girl. That feels so bad. I really do. And then they made her stay relevant by what I said. I still see myself doing the season 1 review before we even had Ryan. When we knew we did a theory video when Ruby Rose decided she was not going to leave. And I remember saying, I bet you that the new Batwoman's going to end up being Sophie's girl. And then when we went into season 2 with Ryan, I said, Lord, they're going to have Sophie be a bat chaser. And everything I said about that shit was right. Like all of it, everything I've been saying has been coming true. And that makes me mad because I did not want that to happen. I love it when I'm right on Charmed in other videos. I hate it when it's with Batwoman because I generally like Batwoman. But Batwoman's one of the first openly LGBTQ plus lead characters in comics. So I mean, you don't want them to be effed up. So yeah, I'm in my feelings about it. It's pretty sad, actually. Let's see here. I'm gonna move down. I stopped watching Batwoman. Just need these recaps. I'm glad I can suffer for you, Alpha. I don't want Mary to go back, and this gives her an actual purpose on the show that highlights her. I need her to have more respect because honestly, they had to go to Jada because the person that handles science and anything medical on their team was Mary, and that's the person they treated like shit. I was kind of hoping that Mary would go down the Luke Cage Nightshade route, and tries to kill Luke for trying to sway her into being her old self, but poison him and kiss him as he thinks he got through to her. I would love that to be her and Ryan. I mean, she obviously isn't going to kiss her because, well, I mean, I don't know. Poison Ivy might be fluid, but Mary's like, I'm not gay. Like, I love that part of the scene in the previous episode, or was it the previous episode where she's like, they thought she was trying to come out of the closet. And she's like, no, I'm not gay. I'm Poison Ivy. Oh, that was really funny. Currently, who's the most powerful member of the Legends? That's hard because Astra's looking pretty damn powerful right now. She's a motion witch. Like her powers are based on emotion. That's pretty sweet. I mean, Sarah's always kind of the front runner because now she's a half alien hybrid and she can heal and doesn't seem to be able to stay dead. So, I mean, if you really think about that, I would say Sarah, but I'm really got my money really right now on Astra being probably the OP person of that group. She just doesn't realize it yet. I feel like just anyone can be in charge of a business in this show. I'm telling you, you don't have to go to school. You don't have to understand anything about running a business. You're just running the business. It's crazy. Let's see. He goes, count time from exposure, and Mary escapes with Pamela with Alice for the ride. I want to know how they're going to bring Pamela in. I think they're bringing Pamela in to mess with Renee, to be honest with you. That's what I think is going to happen. With the nanotech rewriting the DNA. Huh. Oh, you're talking about the whole storyline with Jason Todd. Owner of an organization that lost their partner, Marcus and Mary, season 1. Influencer and Marcus, Alice, sibling sociopathy, Ryan and Kate, CEO of Wayne is annoying how people don't see it. They don't. They don't see it. There's so many similarities and like it's the same. They're actually doing it very lazily because now they get to go back to seasons 1 and 2 and rewrite the same shit just under the guise of it being new for Ryan. It's so stupid. So Gotham has metas. Go to the meta team with experience. Go to Freeland or Star City ASAP. Or Central City, you mean? Technically, Star City didn't have a lot of metas unless they came and visited. It was Central. So Freeland and Central City, technically, and National City are the three that have the metas. And Star City, and I guess we can just say Gotham, because Gotham has villains that can be powered, but normally their powers are coming from a serum or from a device or some kind of weapon, but like, they're actual metas in the other cities. So, but yeah, nobody thinks to do. Well, first of all, Ryan can't call anybody. She doesn't know any of them. Luke can call them, I guess. But I'm gonna be real with you. I don't remember Luke ever having any introductions or any kind of relationship outside of Diggle with anybody from the Arrowverse. It was always Kate. Kate was the one brought into Crisis, not Luke. So Luke probably doesn't know anyone either, because if he did, then why wasn't he the one bringing the information to Kara about the kryptonite? Because Kate is whole ass Batwoman. She should have been protecting Gotham, and he could have been on a plane going to talk to Kara about getting rid of the kryptonite. Just saying. Ryan tried to give Mary Baron Allen speech. Yeah, she doesn't know who she is. She does not know who she is. She probably doesn't. She really doesn't know who she is. I miss Black Lightning so much. Yeah, Black Lightning was a great show. I mean, again, what they did to Lim pissed me off, but yeah, it's a good show. Sophie's just going through her whole phase, then alcoholism, and it proceeds to don't care no more, and makes her transition to finding her own stability. You have such faith in the writing. Like, good job, Nick. That's not going to happen. I read that Hawkeye isn't doing too well. Probably not. People whine about everything, so I do it too. I'm whining about Batwoman, but I actually don't know why. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just, I think that they're in their feelings because it's 6 episodes. It should be going out swinging harder, but I feel like I don't have a problem with it. The only problem is, like I said in my review, with Hawkeye having a family, which is not canon to the comics, because he was married to Mockingbird at one point, but he didn't have kids and a wife, especially having a daughter. Lila could have been Hawkeye Jr. and not Kate Bishop. And the connection between Clint and Kate in the comics is basically a fatherly, daughterly, type relationship, because Kate's dad is actually alive and an asshole in the comics. And it was the mother they thought was dead. And it kind of takes when the MCU does shit like this, it kind of takes away that connection between these characters. It's the whole problem I have between Kate and America. Like, I have no problem with America's actors being cast 14, but now what it did was it took away that, the whole banter, the BFFness, the, potential, honestly, gay baiting between Kate Bishop and America Chavez, because Kate flirts with America all the damn time. America calls her, says she's in the closet, like every other issue they're in together. So, like, it's hard for a 14-year-old and a 22 or 23-year-old to have that relationship that they have in the comic books. So, I mean, I'm used to the MCU. I'm used to all of the media versions that are not, basically graphic novel or comic of any of the storylines that I like to be completely, off base, because that's what it is. So this is no exception. It's no exception whatsoever. And the Arrowverse is so far off base of canon. DC is not even funny. I think this makes things more complicated because of the entrance to the Batcave in the office. Oh, they're broke. That's what that is. He got the suit. I don't know if he got the Batmobile, but I think he said he got the suit in the Batmobile. I have to go back and look now. I don't know if he said we can't get it or we have it, and that's all we got. Because he made it seem like he went and he sealed, the Bat Cave, so nobody can get down there. But yeah, I don't know. And a head-to-head and collective, who do you think would win on the charm sets against their counterparts? Ask me that in our season 4 review. That's a good question. I just realized that Alice's hallucination storyline just randomly vanished. Thank you. You noticed that too, right? Are they tied to the nanobots? I'm confused. I'm very confused. Luke is really earning that online nickname, Soy Wing. I mean, my favorite fight scene will always be Kate beating the dog shit out of Ryan and how shook she looked when she tried to run. She beat her ass. I mean, that's what happens when the original comes home. Not the original Batwoman, the original Kate. How the heck one of Batman's most powerful villains that we haven't even had in Titans are Kate Batwoman that Ryan is supposed to deal with? I know. Like I said, Maria, you have your black card. I have part of it. I'm telling you, they take mine back all the time. I'm happy you're giving it to me, but I get it taken away because whenever I talk about stuff like this, because I am an equal opportunity. I'm an equal opportunist when I tell you something is dog shit. I don't care. It could be my Native American side. It could be whatever sides I am. Hell, I even found out I'm Bengali and have a little Pakistani in me. And if something is shit, I can't support it. Even if it helps the cause, I can't support it because it's shit. Garbage should not represent you. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. No one can take who you are away. Trust me, they try all the damn time. Not just racially, all the time. They need to make Ryan as Batwoman and Ark and pass it back to Kate and give Ryan a new mantle to hold on her own. I agree. Let her find out she's the next Vixen or make a brand new character that's kick ass. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Sophie is Batwing and replace Ryan as Batwoman, and in turn, Ryan becomes Batgirl. Thoughts? That's a good question. What if they killed Ryan off and gave the mantle to Sophie? I would be okay with Sophie being Batwoman. The original Sophie of the series, not what we have right now. Season one Sophie would be okay. I could accept her. Outside of how she treated Julia, which kind of pissed me off, I could accept her as Batwoman because it would have made sense for Kate to give it to her. But, they basically made Kate and Sophie's relationship like it wasn't a big deal. I mean, hell, Kate wrote her, "You are the love of my life" fucking letter. Literally, Sophie is the reason we even had Kate Kane in Gotham. She came to save her because she was missing. But now it's like, man, I'm going to go find Bruce. All right, well, I guess our timing's off. Bye, bitch. Kiss. Like, what? Sophie, come with me. You have no reason to stay in Gotham. You have no job, no prospects, no nothing. Let's go. No, it's just bullshit. I'm just waiting for Mary to end up fighting Pammy's kids that she may via the male sperm and gene splicing with her DNA, because I can see Mary possibly gaining a hive mind with Hazel Rosethorn. Oh, yeah. I think that would be awesome. Especially Mercy. Her and Mercy would be interesting. Yes, genius. Make Sophie Batwing. That would be very cool, actually. Because from this infection, but you know what? If they make Sophie into Batwing, all the people that are screaming agenda and women always gotta be empowered, they're gonna lose their mind. Like, you have Luke Fox in the show, and then you give it to Sophie. Agenda. You already know that that's gonna happen. Because from this infection, it made it seem that it wasn't the first time someone before Mary was exposed or suffered the same condition. True. That is true. Why not make him an original character instead of a copy like our Ivy Batwoman? Now, that's what I've been saying. They don't know how to make them original characters. That's the problem. They don't. They have no idea how to do it. Make Marcus another character similar to Punchline and Joker. I think he would be an excellent male version of Punchline. That would have been a very cool. She literally is a girl who gets off being a sociopath. Like, that is it. There's nothing special happened to her. She's just a sociopath. That would have been very cool. He could have been somebody, I'm just so bored with life. I just want to fuck with you. Like, just no conscience. Born without a conscience. That is a better pill for me to swallow than the backstory Marcus has. Poison Ivy is more so fluid, but with a leaning towards women for long relationships. Men were nothing more than a means to an end. Yeah, she's with Harley a lot. Exactly. I was rooting for Batwoman, looking at you, Lena and Kara, make this happen. Astra and Nate. They better not. I want Astra with Bayrod. I think they're cute. Wait, is Emotion Witch like a real thing in the show? I'm beginning to think so. Because Astra's powers are triggered by her emotions. We will see Poison Ivy versus Poison Ivy on this season. That would be very cool, actually. I think Black Lightning should have not been canceled. Everybody thinks that. Everybody. I don't have faith. I just saw the trend because Sarah did the same thing. Oh, Lord. No shareholders, let alone a board, is just going to give a random person off the street to be in control of a multi-billion-dollar company. Thank you. I mean, hell, them accepting Ryan being an ex-felon was completely stupid. There's no company that wants that as their image. None. This is the person we're toting as the face of Wayne Enterprises, a 42-year-old company that is prestigious and everybody knows. And this is our new acting CEO. She was in jail. like, really stupid. These people obviously do not watch K-dramas. Yeah, I know you meant Central City. I just was messing with you. I think you would have been a better writer for Batwoman. I think literally my daughter's girlfriend's little brother, who's 6, would have been a better writer for Batwoman. Like, they may go to Central City for help on how to deal with Mary. I mean, Caitlin and Mary, there are similar situations with these metas. Well, I mean, you know that they can't because they don't know anybody yet. They have to go and meet at Armageddon first, then meet them, then basically get more of Kate's life and Kate's role, and then they can call for help. That's how that's going to work. That is exactly how that's going to work. I miss Black Lightning, and I also miss Painkiller. I wish they had oh my God, they should have greenlit Painkiller. That was a cool ass show. I love the little kind of pilot in Black Lightning. That was a missed opportunity. Because that could have been opening the Council of Spiders, Cobra Cult, Milestone Media characters, all kinds of characters. They're just stupid. Then the first Disney Plus Marvel show to flop, and this actor really needs this money to work. I read he was eating ramen for years before Avengers. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do in that business, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's made a lot of money since Avengers, though. I don't think Jeremy is hurting for cash. So where are we going to be dealing with Baby Freeze and Sister Scarecrow? I mean, yeah, like, more than likely. But they won't be called that. I wish they would have greenlit a Static live action show if they were going to cancel Black Lightning. No, I do not want them touching Static Shock at all. I told you, Static Shock, definitely not Lady Shiva. Do not put Lady Shiva on any of your damn shows. Ever. Ever. That would be, you will know if Lady Shiva is on any show, especially Batwoman, because all you will see, I won't have a picture of the show. There will be no title. You'll just have a picture of an angry grandmother. And that will be that stream. That will be a stream that will actually cannot be monetized because of the profanity that will come out. So give Ryan Flamebird. No, he said she has her suit in the car. Okay. I thought they had that, but they just don't have anything else. Do you think we'll ever see the Latin Amazon Wonder Woman and her power set on TV? I know Nubia will have strong haters. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why we can't. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to have Nubia on under the Arrowverse umbrella anyway. Honestly, I'm scared for her to be in the DCEU, even though I know we still have Gal Gadot. I don't know. I honestly don't know why we can't have Wonder Woman in the Arrowverse. I've never understood that because we have 2 Flashes. We have Arrowverse Flash and DCEU Flash. And yes, the Arrowverse Flash was first. But I mean, they've seen each other in Crisis on Infinite Poop. So I mean, they're obviously established as separate universes. So why can't we have a Wonder Woman in this universe? Other than the fact that they don't have the budget, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, they have Superman, so that makes no sense to me. I don't know. I need to see if they've established, Superman, because, we already had a name drop for Swamp Thing. Just saying, they said that there's already a Swamp Thing. So they keep talking about different characters that should have already been established together alongside these ones. So I don't know. They can't demote Ryan to Batgirl. I can see the online petitions now. It would be savage. Yep. Ironically, Silva has the same problem when we have Kamala Harris remove the optics would be catastrophic. We stuck. Yeah, you can't. Once you do that, that alone, people would literally cancel CW. I'm just waiting for Copperhead to show up. That would be cool. No, I was thinking Astra and Nate are the most powerful. Oh, okay. Nate, in a way, I mean, yeah, he's able to turn himself to steel and he's kind of strong, but they've been downplaying him a lot in Legends, so I don't know. But yeah, I think Astra is definitely on the way of being one of the OP ones of that show. If it's HBO or CBS, maybe we would accept Lady Shiva and Static Shock. HBO, I might accept Lady Shiva and Static Shock, not CBS. Especially since CBS will cancel it after a season if they had a TV show. You can't even be a manager at a Hardee's with a felony in Florida. Just FYI, said I am for justice reform, but Ryan and this position could have actually highlighted an important topic instead of this. Yep, I agree with that. Static's my favorite property in DC Universe. That's why, I'm getting it. I get it. We're already going to get more Milestone Media content. We're getting an animated movie, which more than likely will have him in it. We're going to have a static. I think Michael B. Jordan's still doing the Static Shock movie. So we're going to have that. We don't need the Arrowverse to touch this. We do not need it. We don't. I am worried about Naomi, honestly. Yes, we have Donna, but we don't have a stable her. And Cassandra is basically non-existent. And there's no mention of my boy, Bobby Barnes. And like hell, Nubia would even be associated with this. Yeah, they don't need to have any of these characters. I'm be real. Like, they can't even get the ones they have now right. I am terrified for anything they do. You know, with any like, I am not the biggest Barry Allen, Flash. He's not my favorite speedster by a long shot. And, you know, I was happy that we're going to get to see the Speed Force in live action in another TV show. But now looking at all of the Arrowverse and seeing how they treated characters, like what they've done to Mr. Terrific, what they've done to my baby, you know, Martian Manhunter, how they take these powerful ass characters and make them nothing. I just can't do it anymore. So, and then if we get Static Shock, we'll start getting unrealistic allies. Team Static will be people that were never on the show or are never in the comics, or it might be somebody like Virgil will have like, let's see, maybe Cisco will be in town with him and then become part of his support team. And they'll start pulling people from the Arrowverse that were never even in Static Shock. And don't say that can't happen, because Caitlin is a whole ass Batman villain and is in the Flash right now. So yeah, no. And the sad thing is the generation who've only known about these characters because of the Arrowverse, they think this is valid and this is how it actually is. And they will argue you down. Like, no, this is what it is. And Killer Frost is a hero and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, children, let's have an education and some education. Let's sit down and have class because you're wrong. So yeah, all this, don't get me started on Yara Flora. Yara Flora's not getting in this at all. Nate Powers cost the most budget-wise. That's the issue. Like Jade with Stargirl, 2 episodes. Well, I mean, then that's their problem for including these characters. I mean, if you don't want to spend the money on it, but you want to have them, you know, accurately portrayed to make you money, then guess what you need to do? Shell it out. Shell it out. Hell no, please don't do that to my man. I'm sorry. I understand. I understand. But you know what? Unfortunately, the CW does not understand. So yeah, that is problematic as hell. Just saying. We're about to end this in a second, but I wanted to show you, you know, in case you guys have not noticed, I've got my web comics I told you about called Warrior of Sarah, or WOS. So if you're on the YouTube, I know some of you have joined. We are going to start having videos, but they're coming early next year. Everything's coming next year. But I wanted to show you guys because I got another banner. So if you've noticed on my YouTube channel, we had a filler or placement banner, which is what it is. So I actually had the time to do a banner with some of the characters. So I'm going to show you said characters because, you know, they cool. So let me see if it'll let me share. It will. Here we go. So these are some of the characters in my motion comic. And they're very, very cool. And the story is very, very cool. And I think you're going to love my voice cast. I'm in it. I play this girl. Her name is Emily. She's actually Native American. I have this girl is, I know she's light skinned, but you know, so am I. I'm part black. So she's part black or part their version. It's a different world. She's part black, half Korean, and she's very, very cool. But like all these people have different abilities called inheritances. So I will keep plugging this when we get closer to basically the date. But just wanted to give you some new characters that you guys can talk about because they're all very, very cool. And the story is very cool. And you will get to know all about them starting in the end of January. We'll start talking about more of the plot. And I'll start putting more stuff on the YouTube video. And I'll start talking about it more on here. And I might have some of my cast members on here too. So just to plug our comic because it's fun. And we're having fun. And these voice sessions are very fun. So yeah. Just putting it out there. So if you have not subscribed to WOS, link is in the description. So please subscribe to that channel. Again, I don't have any content up there yet because we are working on all of it. My artists are working on everything and voiceover stuff we're like 85% done with voiceovers. So for issue 1, so it is a thing. But yeah, and let me know what you think too because I'm really curious. But yeah. So WS. Now back to this. I'm gonna take a few more questions and then we're gonna end it because my spouse has never seen the movie Halloween 2. And we're gonna watch. We saw. I got ready to see Halloween 1, but never saw Halloween 2, the original with Jamie Lee Curtis. So we're gonna watch it because you know. This conversation makes me want to watch that cartoon Static Shock. Yes, you should. Flash lost me when Vibe gave up his powers. He was arguably the most useful and powerful character as a package. Yep. I think the budget was like, no, can't keep doing the Flash and Vibe and Killer Frost. They should have just got rid of Killer Frost. Why can't we have, or better yet, get rid of Caitlyn? Why can't we have a villainous organization like Hive and have several of its members who still find themselves in trying to escape Brother Blood Psychic? I would love that. Missile Control. And it would be really good on the Arrowverse because all they do is redeem villains all the damn time anyway. So, I mean, that would have made a lot of sense, actually. They could do it like, what was it? What was the name of that show that went right out of my head? What is it? Hold on. I used to watch it. And I literally forgot the name of it. So let me see if I can find it. What wasn't it? It was Deadly Class, wasn't it? Deadly Class. It should be on Sci-Fi, I think. Pretty sure it was. Yeah. I would have liked them to do it like Deadly Class. That would have been really cool. Marcus is fine, though. Questionable haircuts, but he's fine as well. I mean, hey, you can be attractive and be on a shit show. I'm just saying. Good chat, Marie. When is the next chat? Thanks and have a good evening. Hopefully Monday. I mean, if everything works out, we'll be doing our season 4 Charmed theory review. Deadly Class. Thank you. And I mean, it's going to be a full, like what we think is going to happen, including with this new girl. So that me and Eloy are going to have a great conversation about that. So you guys need to come and join us because it should be fun. Damaria, that is nice. Thank you. I think you guys are really going to like that. And yes, Emni is the water bender. And in Lakota and Navajo, Emni means water. So that's why I named her Emni. She's got a very interesting story. Her brother's name is Wiyot. He's also hydrokinetic, and he is also based on Native American lore. So he's the guy with the blue hair in the banner that you see over there. This is epic. I'm super proud of you, and this could be really something big. I hope so. We're trying. This is a passion project. I've been wanting to do this for 14 years. Really quickly, every time I tried to do this, something would happen. My mother got diagnosed with cancer, and then I became her caretaker, and so I couldn't do it. And then my previous spouse got diagnosed with terminal cancer, and then I was, the caretaker for my previous spouse. And then when my spouse died, my dad got diagnosed with what was it? Kidney disease or type 3 renal failure. And he had COPD and congestive heart failure. So I just kind of felt like it was never the right time. And now I'm finally doing it here in 2021. I'm finally being able to do it. So it is a thing, guys. So be on the lookout. You're going to hear a lot about WS. I'm going to be plugging it a lot. So that is the future, though. And thank you, Nicholas, because I knew I should have just asked. I should have just said, Nicholas, what is the name of this show? I mean, I'll describe it to you, and you just would have told me. All right. So that is the end of our Arrowverse stream. But again, if you want to keep the conversation going, you always can. The comment section is always open. I think Legends was probably the better of the two for me. Obviously, it always is. But if you have any theories about what's going to happen with Legends, if you have any theories on what you think might be happening with Batwoman, and again, it is a thought because the writing's all over the place in this show. So it could go your way. It could go nobody's way. But it is a thing. But make sure to put the comment below. Tell me what you think. I really am curious because quite frankly, train wreck. Just saying, it's a train. It's like the train to Busan, but not cool. But yeah, so I'm on the way to spend time with the spouse watching Halloween 2 because I'm excited. I'm excited to see my spouse's reaction to this horror movie. And then I will be back on Monday, hopefully with the Charm 4 season speculation theory, whatever you want to call it, video, which may be a live stream, but it also might be a video. If it is a video, I will try to edit it very quickly and get it up Monday night. But more than likely, I'm going to try and see if we can do it as a live stream because it's a lot less for me to edit. And so there you go. I posted a small video on Approach to Yuri as well about Caitlyn and Vi from Arcane, also from League of Legends. So it is over there. Very, very quick video. I think it's probably under 2 minutes. It's very quick. I am still working on my Abigail and Rael video. Yes, I'm doing it. Bell collar is a thing. And I do have, again, I start rolling my spotlights out on this channel too. And they are coming. I promise you. I'm just behind, guys. So just bear with me. Bear with me. I have stuff edited. I just have to render it, and it takes time. So, all right, guys. If it is night for you, have a good night. If it is day for you, have a good day. And I will see you in my next stream and in my next video.